Okay, so now we'll resume the meeting and I'll pass the floor to the evaluator.
Thank you so much, Sing Ping, for starting back the meeting. And as the so-called evaluator, I'm actually the Toastmaster of the evening. It's okay. It's 2022, so we're all getting used to the new roles. No worries there. And I'll try my best to evaluate the situation here. So the situation right now is that we're going into our prepared speech. And ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, this session is quite important for this year because this meeting today is very unique. We have one really important speaker for us, and it's a new member here. Before I start the prepared speech session for this new member, Amira, I would like to invite her evaluator. So without any more delay, can I please invite the evaluator for Amira's speech, who is, can't find it. Oh no. Oh no, I'm also making mistakes as well. Where is it?
Resmi.
Resmi, is it you? Yeah, all right, thank you. Who is Resmi? Resmi, can you please explain this? And then after that, GE stand by for comments.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Toastmaster Amira is going to present her first ever speech called Icebreaker Speech. The purpose of this project is to introduce herself to the club and learn the basic structure of the public speech. I'm looking forward to your speech. Good luck, Toastmaster Amira. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Okay, thank you so much. Next, I would like to invite the general evaluator on the evaluator's notes.
Hi everyone, dear Amira. Today you will be starting your first speech in Toastmasters, which is the icebreaker. So for Resmi, the notes for you are for the the member who's evaluating this portion of the project should be a proven explanatory evaluator. And wait, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. Resmi, but Amira is completing her first speech in Toastmasters. The goal of the evaluation is to give the member an effective evaluation of her speech and delivery style. Because this is the icebreaker, so you may choose to use the note section of the report and not the numerical score.
Thank you to our general evaluator on the explanation of the evaluator's role. Now, this is not just a simple, okay, I evaluate, the general evaluator explain it. No, we have an evaluator's evaluator for Resmi. So let me invite Resmi's evaluations evaluator, none other than our very own Toastmaster Sean Kang, to explain your role.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening, Carl. Toastmaster Resmi, today you will be giving an evaluation to a new member of the club. During your evaluation, please evaluate and present a constructive feedback on another member's presentation. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you. And I would like to quickly call the general evaluator again to explain the notes for the evaluator.
Sure. As this is Resmi's evaluation and evaluation speech, so I'm looking forward for a constructive evaluation for you on Resmi. And yeah, back to you, Carl.
Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're gripping onto the seats of your house. I know that the members here, they're pretty into it already. They're all looking at the screen behind me. So grab your popcorn, your food or whatever, and hang on tight because we're going to listen to Toastmasters Amira's speech. Now, Toastmaster Amira, although I do not know her personally, but the day where I heard, oh my gosh, Toastmaster Amira, you're going to join us as well in this hall, I was looking forward to meeting some fresh faces because I see all three of them right here. So although this time I don't get to see you physically, but it's all right. I still at least get to listen to your speech. So with that, let us all give a thunderous applause to our Toastmaster Amira for her speech titled Little Human. Little Human, Toastmaster Amira.
Mic check. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
And everyone see me?
Yes, loud and clear.
I'm sure everyone is familiar with the most basic question in every ice-breaking session ever. What's your name? Age? Where are you from? This reminds me of another basic question adults love to ask kids. Ooh, I really hated this question when I was a kid. Which one do you like more? Your mom or your dad? How about everyone present tonight? Do comment down in the chat or just say if you're there physically, which one would you answer? Some of the braver ones would answer mom or dad. There are also the pacifists or just the ones who likes to play it safe. They would answer I love both equally. Ladies and gentlemen, my absolute answer every time someone asked me this was my mom. Don't get me wrong, I love my dad, but I was really scared of him. My dad is that typical Asian dad, super strict and always frowning with his thick eyebrows. But as much as I am afraid of him, I find my dad fascinating. I studied him. I even got his entire morning routine down. Every morning, before he went to work, he would sit down on the table with his coffee in hand and flip through news and open up his newspaper and flip through it. After he read it from front to back, he would turn on the TV and flip through different news channels. The kid me didn't understand why my dad did all these things. So I asked him, Baba, why do you do all this? Why do you study the news and, not watch cartoons with me instead? And he answered me, Adik, which is my nickname, the world is really big, much, much bigger than you. And if you want to be successful in the world, you have to understand it first. Well, the kid me, I didn't really understand what my dad was trying to say, but just like any other 7 years old, I would copy him. I would listen, I would read whatever he reads. I would watch whatever news he watched. It was not until my dad sent me to a boarding school in a place where I didn't know anyone, where everyone used different dialects, have different palates too. It's in Negeri Sembilan. And that was when I finally understood what my dad was trying to do. When I entered the school, meeting very different people from me, it was then I realized I was only one little human in the many, many humans around me in this big world. There were so many vast differences, so many things I didn't know, so many things I haven't heard of. And my dad was trying to understand those differences by reading news and watching the news. Ladies and gentlemen, fast forward 18 years later, I entered University Malaya and heard of Toastmasters Club. To be honest, the first time I heard of Toastmasters Club during Wow Week, I was like, what club is this? Do they bake toast, the bread, or do they make toast? I was curious about what club it was and enjoyed the introduction meeting for guests. Let me tell you this, I was really scared of this club at first. I already hated being the center of attention, and this club was about speaking publicly at that. And as if that wasn't enough to scare me away, I heard about table topic session. Oh my goodness, when I heard about it, all of my hair stood up. I was already afraid of speaking, let alone impromptuly. That's a living nightmare for me. But after joining a few sessions, I found myself smiling after the meeting ended. I learned different styles of speaking. I heard so many interesting different stories from very different point of view. I met so many new people. And the most important thing is, after I joined a few sessions in University Malaya Toastmasters Club and a few times in 𝐿 Toastmasters Club, I learned the most important thing that affected me after these few sessions. I slowly find speaking not that scary, that it's okay to make mistakes. We can just learn and learn and learn. In a way, Toastmasters is a blessing that I was not expecting, a chance for me to take baby steps to overcome my fear of public speaking. And now, here I am tonight for my very first ice-breaking speech. Everyone, my name is Amira. I am 20 years old and I am a little human in a big, big world seeking to learn more, speak more, and listen more in Toastmasters. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmasters of the evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a fantastic speech by Toastmaster Amira. Little human, but with a big, brave heart. Can I have another round of applause, please? Now, customary in Toastmasters, the icebreaker speech is a speech that takes a lot of bravery. And for that, I would like to restart a tradition that is done physically, which is in a standing ovation. So, as you can, ladies and gentlemen, if you focus at the audience view, all right, I'm going to make everyone here in this room, all right, everyone, go up, 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 fellow Toastmasters up. Now, stand up and clap. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
Good job, Amira. Good job.
All right, so that was a standing ovation that honestly, it's a true honor being in a hybrid meeting. We can do something like this and to honor our members here, such as Amira. I hope this is a small little step, like you said, towards a big, big career, a big, big dream. And I hope all the best in whatever endeavor you wanted to chase after. Now, that's the first speech done. And the next part, okay, is all about evaluation. And with that, I need to pass control to my partner in crime, which I can't really comment much until after the session, right? So with that, I would like to invite the general evaluator, 𝐿𝐻𝐻, to take the reins from me, and I will pass it to the virtual stage. Boom! You're in control right now.
Thanks, Carl, for passing over the control of the room. And now it's my session to shine. And truly, it's a blessed day and a blessed meeting. So without further ado, I would like to start with the table topic evaluation by 𝐿𝐻𝐻. 𝐿𝐻𝐻, the floor is yours.
Long time no see. See me, right? Right, am I audible? Okay, right. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are blessed to have 4 table topic speakers who present wonderful topics for us to enjoy. Let me start with the first speaker, Min Kang. So Min Kang's topic was every ending is a new beginning. So Min Kang is a very enthusiastic speaker. Throughout his speech, he showed us a lot of warm body language, and also he used a lot of meaningful vocal variety, which enhanced his speech to another level. Another point is Min Kang has a very relatable theme about plans for the future, which a lot of us here who are uni students can definitely relate to. One thing that I would challenge Min Kang to do is that since we are in a physical setting, you don't have to stay stationary. You can try to move around the stage, which is, I believe, something you have not done before because we didn't have the opportunity. So, for example, when you are talking about your matrix life, perhaps you can stand at here, and then when you are talking about uni life, you can move to show that the transition of time. So that is something that you can learn as well as the other speakers who haven't tried a physical setting before. Next, we have Toastmaster Resmi. The topic was New Year, hate it or love it. For me, I think that this topic is very challenging, and I'm astonished that Toastmaster Resmi managed to stay calm and collected and managed to think of so much content to share to us, which I find it very impressive. So Toastmaster Resmi have a lot of things to share. So what I would like to challenge her is that perhaps next time you could try to think of the end at the beginning, so that when you are thinking about the points, you would have a better flow and the points would seem more connected, and you will have a more convenient time planning out your speech. So our third speaker was Toastmaster Sean. So Toastmaster Sean's topic was fail to plan, plan to fail. And from his speech, I can see that Toastmaster Sean is definitely a very experienced planner. So at the very beginning, Toastmaster Sean directly spoke outside of the box. So instead of talking about failing to plan and planning to fail, instead talk about planning for failure, which is something very good. Also, Toastmaster Sean's speech has a very nice pacing and the structure is very good. So one thing that I would challenge Toastmaster Sean is that I can see that you have a lot of body gestures. However, due to the camera angle, I can only see partial of it. So perhaps you could try to adjust camera angle a bit so that we can see more of your upper body and of course your body gestures to enhance your speech further. Lastly, we have Toastmaster 𝐿𝐿. So his speech title was, what would you say to your 2021 self? So Toastmaster 𝐿𝐿 also started off with a very special way, which is starting with a quote, which is 1 year older, 1 year wiser. So starting this speech with this particular quote managed to captivate me since the very beginning, as I ponder upon what kind of topic would Toastmaster 𝐿𝐿 share further down the line. And of course, Toastmaster 𝐿𝐿 expand upon the quote throughout his speech, which I find it very captivating. And also, Toastmaster 𝐿𝐿 ended his speech with the quote itself, which makes it sort of like a full circle. So I find it a very impressive thing to do. So what I would suggest Toastmaster 𝐿𝐿 to do is that since you are using 2 devices, perhaps you are looking at the other. So most of the time I see that you are looking below the camera angle. So perhaps you could try to look at your main device when you are talking, so that we can actually feel that you are looking at us, and that would definitely make your speech so much better. And that's the end for me. So overall, very impressive speech from you all, and happy 2022, everyone. That's all from me. Back to you.
Thank you, Gloria, for the feedback. Next, I would like to invite Resmi to give her feedback on Amira's speech. Resmi, the floor is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator 𝐿𝐿. Greeting to fellow Toastmasters and guests. A Toastmaster's journey starts in an icebreaker speech. Today, Toastmaster Amira has completed her wonderful icebreaker speech. Congratulations, Toastmaster Amira, for your first speech. An icebreaker speech means never expect a very powerful speech, but Toastmaster Amira delivered a very good speech. I can't even believe this is your icebreaker speech. I like the way Toastmaster Amira described about her father and watching TV and changing news channel. You told about yourself and very nicely explained and feel very warm. You grab the attention from the audience and change the topics to how you know about University Malaya Toastmaster Club. And you have good eye contact. Just very good and marvelous speech. A big round of applause to her. Thank you. Back to General Manager.
Thank you, Resmi, for the feedback. Now, my fellow Toastmasters, what do you think that make the best feedback? The best feedback to me is not by using powerful speeches or languages. The best feedback is something that you have to deliver from your heart. So, Resmi, good job on giving your evaluation to Amira. And I really like the way that you do your feedback, which is like truly from your heart. So next, I will have Sean to give the feedback on your feedback to Amira.
Thank you,
Sean, the floor is
Mr.
yours.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Toastmaster Resmi, I can capture 3 positive words from you that you said to Amira. Good, wonderful, marvelous. And throughout your entire speech, you were very motivating. You were very empathetic. You even congratulated the speaker for giving such an amazing icebreaker speech. And to Toastmaster Amira, it is, and I concur, agree with Resmi that it is a wonderful icebreaker speech. I wish my icebreaker was that great as well. But ladies and gentlemen, today we are here to learn evaluation. And I'm going to follow the standards of any evaluation context. We look at evaluation at 4 elements, which is analytical, recommendation, summarization, as well as what do you offer to the speaker itself. Toastmaster Resmi, my recommendation to you to elevate your evaluation further is not to repeat what the speaker has said. It's not about what the speaker said in her content. It's how her content managed to grab the audience attention, how her content made it so much suitable as an icebreaker speech. From Toastmasters, we are very aware of what Amira has mentioned. But being an evaluator, you dive down deep into the works and the structures and the system that made her icebreaker marvelous. So we would love to hear from you in future how you dissect people's speeches and how that structure made very well, how Amira uses questioning at the beginning of her speech to draw the attention of the audience so you could pin down how you can share these insights to a lot of the new speakers out there. And somewhat being like the grammarian, you don't have to be the best in grammar to be the grammarian, but being a grammarian means that you're paying attention to grammar mistakes. Same goes for being an evaluator. I really encourage you, in fact, I challenge you to be evaluators more often in future meetings so that you could reflect yourself. I did this evaluation. How can I improve my next evaluation? And maybe in your next evaluation, this is something that you can look for. How does the content of a speaker make a speech great? Is it the body gestures? Is it the way it's structured? Things like that. So these are more on techniques that people will want to learn and people will want to hear from evaluator. So with that, I hope my evaluation is not too critical. Keep it going. It's always very, very difficult to give a good evaluation at such a short period of time, but it is indeed a great attempt from you, Resmi, and I look forward to hearing more evaluation speeches from you in future. With that, I pass it back to Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Sean, for your feedback. Now, what Sean said is true. Being a Toastmasters is not just giving speeches. It is to practice, practice, and practice. So I hope to hear more feedbacks from Resmi in the near future. So since we have finished the speech evaluation, the next will be the technical evaluators, which I would like to call Kamun to start the session with his grammarian report. The floor is yours, Kamun.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Just give me 1 second. Is my screen shown? Okay, see it now. The word of the day is blessed, and like I mentioned, I accept any forms of the word blessed. Yes.
I don't think we see your screen.
Oh,
Kamen? No. Perhaps can you like?
Wi-Fi is a bit.
All right, we got it now. All right, good.
We got it.
Yeah, because my laptop Wi-Fi is a bit slow at the moment. The word of the day is blessing. Can you hear me? Just to confirm.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll continue. All right. The word of the day is blessing. I'll accept any forms of the word bless, blessed, blessing. I'll accept. So Carl use it once. Iptifa is the champion. Use it 3 times. Once for blessing, 2 times for blessed. Sean use it once. I use it once. Amira use it once. Goy use it once. To those who have missed, I'm so sorry. I enjoyed your speech so much that I forgot to count sometimes. Okay. Now, improvements on sentence structure. Here are the few that I can detect. Our role player of the day are counter timer. You have more than 1 role player, so it should be plural. Our role players of the day. Hypercritical. This word can be a bit negative in the word form. So I would suggest to use recommendation, proposition, or guidance. So these are more positive words to be used in a Toastmaster setting. Green light. You don't share the light, you share the screen, or you share the illuminant. Here I like to talk a story. You are telling a story. You're not talking about something. So you tell a story. I did not know that it is the past that has not happened. So it's better to use modal verbs instead of use did not. If you use did not, it means it's the past and it has happened before. Okay. I was about to choose computer scientist. Computer scientist is the job. Computer science program. That's the course. Pass the floor. You can't pass the floor on something. You pass the control to someone. Back to you, Appa Cow. I think this is like a crutch. Heard the word Appa. So you cow. Which one do you like, mom or dad? That sounds a bit colloquial. Colloquial is like 2 Malaysian language. So which parent do you love? Your mom or your dad? So many vast difference. In this context, the word difference is uncountable because you have too many and it's too huge that you can't count one by one. So it's either so much difference or vast difference. You don't need many over there. Topic was. It is a fact. If something is a fact, you use. Same goes for this one. Our third speaker was Sean. It's present tense and it's not a fact. So if it's a fact, you use simple present tense. Third speaker is Sean. Pronoun there. So tiny thing to do. I look forward to hearing. I think this is correct. I need to confirm again. I look forward to hear would be a better one. Feedbacks, there's no plural form for feedbacks, so it's only feedback. Pronunciation, it should be aim. I think it's used a lot of times. It's repetitive in few of the speakers, so you can use in my view, if you ask me, or my mind. And tiga is pronounced 1, 2, 3. Any word that has th is th, it's not t, it's th. So 3. Excellent use sentence structures. These are a few that I can detect. The one I really like is by Sean. A stumbling block, failure, aversive. Use a lot of very deep vocabulary words. So great job, Sean. And I like Amira's quotes as well. The world is really big, much, much bigger than you. It shows how small you are in this world. I'm a little human in the big, big world, seeking to learn and improve myself. Of course, 𝐿𝐻𝐻 and Carl, they are excellent speakers. They use a lot of great use of language. And some of the words that tight knit, budding, astonished, captivating, pondered. So these are a few words that I really enjoyed. So if that marks the end of my grammarian report. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Kamun, for the neat report. So next we have our R counter, which is 𝐶𝐻𝐿. So I'll pass the control to 𝐶𝐻𝐿.
Okay, thank you, General Evaluator. So allow me to share screen now. Can you guys see my screen? Yes, okay. So for our counters report, for Carl, 1 no repeated words. For Kenting, 1 repeated words is a. Minh Khang, 1 repeated words are I think and at that. For Resmi, 3 Sean, 2 Carmen, 1 Iktifa, 2 Amira, repeated words I, Goy, don't have any pause fillers or repeated words. So I think that's all for accountants report. Okay, back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, 𝐶𝐻𝐿, for the report. Koi, congrats that you have no that you are not detected by the R counter. Lastly, I have Joshua to present the timer report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Allow me to share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
So our meeting starts at 7:11 p.m. 7:11. And the ASAA for today's briefing, the time taken is 1 minute, 1 second. Kenting, President's opening address, 2 minutes, 27 seconds. Carl, Toastmaster of the evening, 9 minutes and 1 second. For our first table topic speaker, Minh Khang, time taken is 2 minutes, 32 seconds, a little bit overspent at the 2 seconds. Resmi, 1 minute, 44 seconds. Sean, 2 minutes, 6 seconds. And Kaman, 2 minutes, 16 seconds. Next is our prepared speech speaker, Amira, who takes 5 minutes, 30 seconds. And for Goy, table topics evaluation, 3 minutes, 58 seconds. Resmi, 1 minute, 37 seconds. Sean, 3 minutes, 4 seconds. And for the role players report, Kaman, 4 minutes, 3 seconds. 𝐶𝐿𝐴n, 42 seconds. And for me is 1 minute, 9 seconds. And that is all for me. Thank you. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Joshua, for being the Rolex for the meeting. Now it is my time to give my feedback on today's meeting. So guys, how do you think about today's hybrid meeting? Was it great?
Wonderful.
All right. So to all seriousness, first thing I would like to point is the agenda, because that's the first thing that we see in a meeting. So I think the agenda's notes were not completed because I had trouble to find my session for the evaluators' notes. And also I spotted that you didn't put Kamun's club, home club, and also his titles. And also the word of the day was not noticeable because I think, sorry, it's not I think, it was stated that the word of the day was at the last part, just before the pathways of Toastmasters. So I hope that the VPE could look into that and reorganize the agenda a bit. And yeah, for the present speech, I like Kenting's speech because it is nice and sweet. And also the TME Carl explained what to look for and what to look out to look forward to. And the table topics meeting, the table topic speech was typical of Kenting because like the titles already can like somehow envision in my mind about when Kenting took over as the table topic master. And next is the results for the Slido can be seen visually. So have to improve on that. Maybe like you can hide the results for Slido, or you can go on other platforms. And I think there's one mistake done by the table topic master that Kenting said that it was the first physical table topic speaker, which is a wrong statement. table topics is a norm in Toastmasters meeting. So Min Kang wasn't the first. And then the display at the Siswa room was like brightened and dim. That's why I pointed down during the meeting. So there's something that you have to look onto. All in all, I think the meeting was nice. The TME was on spot and the energy was high on the physical setting and also the virtual setting. And I think really that UM has nailed nicely, and the hybrid meeting settings are good, are well set up and good to go in the future meetings. So that is from me, and I'll pass the floor to Kyle.
Thank you so much to our general evaluator for his general remarks. Now, without knowing anything at all, I don't think we can learn. That's why they call feedback is the breakfast of champions. And without feedback, we won't learn. So I hope that if there's any mistakes, I would like to apologize on behalf of the team and would like to improve better. So with this part, I would like to award and to give those that have obviously won, if you have seen the results already. Now, something is happening behind me. And when it comes to all this kind of incidents, the most important thing is we adapt, and we react, and we improve. Now, yeah, it's back. With that, I would like to announce the winner of the table topic session when the technical problem seemed to come and then go. Oh. There you go. Banjir dipermudahkan Malaysia. #pray. Okay, that's on. No, without. So that's basically our winner for table topic. Congratulations to Toastmaster Karma. Yeah.
Thank you.
For this meeting, there are no awards for best speaker. So I'm so sorry, Amira, but rest assured, maybe next time when we have 2 or 3 speakers, that's where we will have awards for our speakers. And
as icebreaker.
Icebreaker, yes. With that, I would like to also highlight, because there's not enough speakers for this meeting, we will not have enough evaluators for the evaluation awards either. So next meeting, there will be hopefully 3, all right? So fellow Toastmasters right here on the floor with us, please fill up all those speaking slots, right? So we can at least pick a winner. So love y'all. Send your love and hearts and blessing to our VPE and then book those slots, super important. Next up, I would like to acknowledge this individual for really, I think this is a very important moment where we choose him for the QAQC, Quality Assurance and Quality Control. None other than our very own GE to give those really, really much needed criticism, constructive criticism. Let me invite Toastmaster Iktifa to get this award for the GE role. A token of appreciation. So we should be moving our virtual magic Virtual magic. Okay, so take this as a symbol of thanks.
Sorry, I didn't prepare for you.
85. Okay, this one is the symbol of thanks. It's a trophy. All right. Now, my session today is about to end. And one thing that I really like, that I would like to summarize what happened during this past hour or so, that all of you have spent your really important time with us here in UMTMC. The one thing I learned is that our table topic evaluator said that, oh, you know, there's something different about speaking right here physically, as well as speaking on a computer screen. So first thing is that you can now move, all right? So that's one thing I've learned today, thanks to our table topic evaluator, who is God. The other thing that I learned is that when it comes to speech, right, I feel that it's a really good feeling to have a new speaker, Amira, to give those contacts, to give those inside views of how she experienced it. So I hope that there are more speakers who will pick up all those speech slots like Amira did and share with us. And hopefully, I hope to see all of you right here, standing next to us, so you can really feel the power of being on a stage. And then the final take-home message is, it's the start of 2022. And the theme is hello. So with that, I'm really happy to spend this Monday with all of you. And really ironically, end this part with hello. I hope to see you again soon. With that, I end my session and pass control back to our President 𝐶𝐿𝐴.
So thank you, Toastmaster Evening, Toastmaster Club, for hosting today's first ever hybrid meeting for University Malaya Toastmaster Club. So let's give a round of applause. So Toastmaster and guests, thank you for joining today's meeting, first ever hybrid meeting in University Malaya Toastmaster Club. This is such an amazing session. I'm blown away by the whole meeting. You know, at the start of the meeting, we have our opening speech by myself and also our Toastmaster Evening. Toastmaster Carl, he is very supportive and ever energetic, and he brings out the vibe for today's meeting. And also followed by, we have our table topic session. I found that the speakers are very participative. You all give some wonderful speeches, you share your ideas and thoughts, and I really learned something from all those speeches. And also, we also have our new member, Toastmaster Amira, giving her first ever ice-breaking speech to kickstart her journey as Toastmaster in University Malaya Toastmaster Club. Well done, Amira, and great job. And hopefully you can improve and deliver even amazing speech for your future speeches. And finally, for today's meeting, we also have evaluation session where evaluators share golden nuggets, insights, and learning that is important for the speakers to improve for their future speeches, and also for the guests and Toastmaster here to listen to the feedback, as well as the evaluators know how we can improve in our speeches. It can be our speech content, it can be our speech structure, or it can be just body languages as well as eye contact that we might want to improve on. And finally, I want to thank our Vice President Education, Toastmaster Min Kang, for helping me to host this meeting successfully. This is a hybrid meeting. This is the first time we plan a hybrid meeting, and thank you so much, Min Kang, and also for myself, for the team, and also for Toastmaster Carl, Goy, that are here with us. Thank you for helping us to set up this hybrid meeting. This is I think this is such a key achievement for us for the start of a new year 2022. And finally, I'm blessed that today's meeting is joined by Toastmaster, not just physically, also virtually on Zoom. You are the backbone of today's meeting, that your participation makes today's meeting possible. Thank you so much for joining, and hopefully we can see each other again in our future meeting, which probably will happen on January 17. It might going to be another hybrid meeting. I hope that we can see each other again physically at KPS. And with that,
I call this meeting to a close. Thank you everyone for joining today's meeting. And I'm going to sign off now. Have a good night. Okay.
Gavel.
Oh, Gavel. Wait, Gavel coming up. Oh, wait, Gavel.
What happened to Gavel? Where's the
Hey,
Gavel?
you need to hit the gavel. Now officially got power already.
It's in the box.
Oh, in the box.
Where's the Gavel? I didn't see at the starting of the meeting.
Look at the user field. It's actually useful now.
There, 𝐶𝐿 is here. So I call this meeting to a close.
Okay, finally. Get to see the president use the gavel.